Bro, just imagine having to watch everything you eat constantly throughout the day, and it's something that I've struggled with pretty much my entire life. I did go a long period of time where I didn't require like insulin or anything like that, which was really cool, but I noticed probably when I found out that I did have diabetes, it was like god, I was probably 15 years old. 15, 16, something like that, and I was at the just doing a checkup. It was like an annual checkup, and they were like, "Yeah, your sugar's pretty high." And I had it under control for the most part. I skateboarded a ton. Skating was such a huge part of my life. I loved skateboarding. Skateboarding games are still really cool. I might even try to use the new skate for some footage on some videos once I learn how to, work the controls and stuff because it's been a really long time. But yeah, I skateboarded a lot and I had a pretty well controlled diet. I lived with my dad at the time and he really did a good job of keeping my sugar under control with just eating like whole wheat pasta, avoiding a lot of refined carbs, stuff like that. But as I got older, especially in the last few years, it would typically my blood sugar would be like 180 after a really carby meal, which wasn't too bad. It would go back down to close to 100, so it wasn't that bad. But I started taking a medication for my mental health that I'm going to try to slowly wean off of. But that medicine had a side effect of raising your blood sugar, and I started noticing my blood sugar was like getting really, really high at some points to like in the 300s, 400s. It was even higher than that when I was on vacation with my mom and the rest of my family, and we discovered, oh my God, you've got really bad type 2 diabetes. So, yeah, just imagine having to pretty much watch everything you eat. I eat a lot of just proteins. I eat meat. The only carbs that I really eat are like beans and rice and peanut butter. Those are the only carbs that I really ever eat. And I have to take insulin and stuff like that. And it just kind of sucks because most people, they don't have to worry about these things. They can eat a slice of cake and they'll be fine. If I eat a slice of cake, I might end up in the hospital. So yeah, it's really a difficult thing to live with, especially when you combine it with other health issues that could have been caused partially by diabetes. But I'm hoping that I can return those levels of those other things that I got going on to a decent range with just diet and exercise and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that that kind of works out. But yeah, just imagine having to watch every single thing that you eat, and no matter what you do, especially in social settings, you have to explain to everyone. It's like, dude, I have diabetes. I can't eat that. When people try to offer you food and stuff like that. Now, occasionally I can have like a slice or two of pizza as long as I'm doing my insulin. It'll be fine. And then luckily, my local health department offers me, since I don't have insurance, I get really cheap insulin and medication for the diabetes. So I'm in a really fortunate situation. So I'm not like trying to complain that much, but I haven't, I was in the hospital too for it, but I haven't gotten my sugar to where I want it to be in the last few months, and I'm really starting to take that a lot more seriously because I want to live as long as possible, and in order to do that, I'm gonna have to make some changes to my diet and get a lot more strict with my my taking of the insulin and stuff like that. I mean, the only thing I do for it is insulin, and it really does help, and I'm really glad that I have access to that because without it, I could end up in the hospital or worse. So I'm really glad that I'm surrounded by supportive people and stuff like that. And no, I didn't have like any bullet points that I wrote down or anything like that for this video. I kind of just wanted to yap naturally and practice my yapping skills. And I was like, what better way to practice yapping than to talk about something that is very personal, that it's kind of takes vulnerability to talk about these things and put yourself out there, and I hope that other people that might have some similar health issues can kind of relate to that. I think it would be really cool for people to have something to connect with and be like, oh, this guy's got stuff that he deals with and he still uploads videos, still trying to maintain steady employment and just living his life. And I think that's one of the hardest things to do is not get defeated by these things, because it's very easy when little things creep up, which they're going to. Life is going to throw you so many curveballs, and you just have to be resilient and you have to be able to still live your life even when life throws you those curveballs. And I guess that's kind of the moral of this. I'm going to title it something along the lines of Diabetes Sucks, but I really just wanted to just yap and talk a little bit about myself and see if any of you guys could relate to that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.